historians, welcome to week 2 of online learning. Let's get started. As always, remember that you can log into our Google Hangouts office hours every day, Monday through Friday, between the hours of 12 and 1. Today we're going to be talking about the Battle of Antietam. Antietam? I don't know. And we're also going to be talking about Lincoln's Emancipation Proclamation. Emancipation refers to the freeing of slaves. Last week you learned about the importance of Fort Sumter, the first battle of the Civil War. We also talked about how Abraham Lincoln was the 16th president of the United States, leading the Union forces. And Jefferson Davis was the president of the new Confederate States. We also talked about the Anaconda Plan, which was the North's plan for how to defeat the South, since all of the military generals were in the South. With the onset of the Civil War, the North had started to enact the Anaconda Plan. They were successful in Phase 1. Step 1 cut off the South's ability to export any goods to the European countries and make any money. Step 2 is to cut the South in half by capturing the city of New Orleans in Louisiana. The Confederate troops there didn't even put up a fight, so the North very easily was able to seize New Orleans and take all of the territory up through the Mississippi, effectively cutting the South in half. So they were successful with Phase 1 and Phase 2. Phase 3 was to capture the city of Richmond, the capital of the new Confederate States. However, when the North tried that, they failed. This brings us to the bloody Battle of Antietam. Antietam.
See how the T is bold? Antietam.
Antietam.
Yeah, there you go.
So with the Battle of Antietam, it was one of the bloodiest battles of the Civil War. Both sides suffered tens of thousands of casualties, which means that people got shot and they didn't die, but they were severely wounded. Technically, the North won the battle. However, because there was such a large death toll on either side, many people who fought there didn't really think there was a winner either way. There are a few reasons that we can attribute this super high death toll to the battle. Most of them are due to the fact that the Civil War was the first mechanized warfare, which means that this is the first war that was fought in modern history with machine guns. The second reason that there was such a high death toll is that while we had advanced military weaponry with machine guns, etc., medical technology wasn't as caught up. So if someone got shot in the hand or shot and wounded in the arm, most people just had that arm amputated. The third reason is sickness. There was so much illness going throughout prison camps and on battlefields as well. Many men who got shot in the arm would get infected, and that was why they had to amputate those limbs. Or they would get dysentery, which is a medical stomach disease where basically it's just not nasty. You can look it up. So Lincoln had to come up with a plan to try and weaken the South. So his plan was to free all the slaves in the South. Remember from last week, Lincoln's position on slavery was neutral. He was neither for or against. He wanted to keep the Union together. That is essentially what he was trying to do as president. But obviously, the South was fighting for their states' rights to have slavery. So one of the best ways that Lincoln could see to weaken their economies was to free all of the slaves. No slaves means no workers to work on the fields and grow crops, which meant no money for the slave owners. There were still slave states in the Union. With the Emancipation Proclamation, only slaves in the Confederacy were freed. So any slave that was still in the Union was still considered to be a slave. Now, for the rest of this lesson, you're going to actually read about the Battle of
Antietam
and the severe amount of deaths, paired with a reading of the actual Emancipation Proclamation by Abraham Lincoln. After reading Abraham Lincoln's modified excerpt of his Emancipation Proclamation, I want you to specifically look for the aftermath or the effects of the Emancipation Proclamation and what that did for the war effort. Good luck, historians. You got this. Pew, 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 pew.